LR Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, it is time for the penultimate round of our second F1 2019 career mode season. We are at Sao Paulo for the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Interlagos. Guys, heading to the performance chart, Racing Point. What the hell? Oh my goodness, guys, Racing Point are coming with a vengeance for Season 3. Remember, there's no R&D reset, no, what's the word I'm looking for? No regulation change, so they are going to be strong in Season 3. We are in second with Rich Energy Haas Racing. Red Bull are third. We are basically neck and neck with Red Bull. Williams fourth, Ferrari fifth, Mercedes sixth, Renault seventh, McLaren eighth, Alfa Romeo Racing ninth, and Scuderia Toro Rosso Ulster bringing up the rear end of the field. Now, guys, as you guys know, we can seal the championship here in Brazil. As you guys will see in practice, I pushed with everything I got. This is with a hard tire racing program stint. And as you guys see here, through the one of the corners there, I just have a little bit of a tank slapper there. Nearly lose the rear end of the car. Luckily, I did not put the car into the barriers, which is a good thing. But we've got a long qualifying ahead of us. It's a wet one. So let's see what we can get going for ourselves in qualifying. So let's head straight there. Yeah.
Welcome along then to Interlagos as we await the green light to get today's qualifying session underway. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction. And over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong. And that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
I can't agree more with Anthony Davidson, guys. It never gets any easier. Guys, heading to the end of Q1, it didn't rain at the beginning of the qualifying, so everybody bolted out of the pit lane, set as quick lap as possible. I got in a very good first lap, got myself into P4, so we are through Q1 with a lot of ease. But guys, heading into Q2, you guys know, if you've been a subscriber to the channel and you have watched my previous videos, I am not good in qualifying.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Thank you, Jeff. Compared to the race, I'm a far better racer than qualifier. And also, throw rain in there, and I absolutely suck. So this really was a quali session where I had to dig down deep. I went out as soon as this Q2 started on the inters, but it was already wet weather conditions, so I just wasted my time and wasted a set of inters. But going out for the second time, we come across the line for our base lap, and we go P6, 3.6 tenths away from Sergio Perez, who at this stage is the net quali 2 leader. We come to the end of the session, we do not better our time, but luckily that was enough to squeeze us through Q2, and we are through into Q3. But guys, Q3 is most probably going to be the intermediates. I am better with the full wets than on the inters. With inters, I never know where the grip levels are.
Tyres are your best bet in the current conditions.
Thank you, Jeff. Guys, I'm never the best when it comes to the intermediates because realizing where the grip levels are is really hard. Some parts of the track where there's a dry line, the grips is so much more sufficient than you realize, and then at other parts where it's still reasonably wet, you can completely just make your name Foofy. So yeah, Foofy. I do not know where I got the word Foofy from, but guys, the track just got drier as the session went on. As you guys see, there is a little glimmer of sunlight. So what I decided to do was just wait till the very end of the session, put in a little bit more fuel and go for 3 consecutive laps. That's the best way for me to qualify. I was just going to overstress myself going out in the beginning and at the end of qualifying. So as you guys see here, this is the end of our first lap. We come across the line and it's stupidly slow. We are 2.2 seconds off of the leader's pace, which at this stage is Charles Leclerc. We head in through to this part, guys, which was our best lap. So let's go around the Interlagos circuit in Sao Paulo, Brazil, so you guys can see what an intermediate lap looks like around Sao Paulo. Now, guys, I don't know the Sao Paulo corner names whatsoever, except the first 3 corners, which is the Senna S. After that, I do not know the corner, so we're just gonna go through and for this final part of the lap. It's luckily a short lap here around Interlagos, heading into this next double right-hander. In the dry, this is a very awesome corner. It's a very quick corner, but now we head into the second sector here of Sao Paulo. Well, we're already in the second sector, but it's a very, very tight second sector with a lot of hairpins and a lot of throttle management, because if you plant the power too early, you will go around. And now you guys add that with intermediate conditions. It is a little bit of a problem. And there's a little bit of a bounce there in the replay. Sorry about that. But guys, we come around this final left-handed downhill bend, which you really have to squeeze the power very easily. With a downhill descent, the rear end is really light, and it tends to come out on you. Even in the dry, that corner can sometimes be sketchy. But we come through the final, basically, braking zone of the track, into the final two left-handers heading up the hill towards the line. We better our time with not much. It's only 0.135 tenths. Not a lot, and the second lap was absolutely horrible. So guys, we're not gonna do anything about this. We are P10 on the grid.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Vettel, Gasly and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Damn, I was slow.
Bad luck in qualifying. That's not exactly ideal. But there's no points for Saturday. Keep a cool head and make up for it in the race.
That is the idea, Emma. And guys, with us trying to seal the championship this episode, we have just made it a lot harder for ourselves. Let's head to the Brazilian Grand Prix.
As surely as the sun rises in the morning, the Brazilian Grand Prix packs out the grandstands and creates incredible drama. Title deciders, heartbreak, triumph and home glory. All these and more can be found in abundance here at the Autodromo José Carlos Pache. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. The fastest lap today should have an average speed of around 135 miles per hour, if, of course, the weather stays dry until the end of the Grand Prix. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. We should talk about Alfa Romeo. They've had to retire a couple of times in the last few races. What can you tell us about the reliability of their car?
I think they can be fairly pleased with that record so far. The first thing any good car needs is a solid, reliable base with which to build on, and they seem to have that this season.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Pierre Gasly lines up on pole position with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Hamilton, Kevin Magnussen and Norris, Butler, O'Connor, Albon and Sebastian Vettel, Russell, Kvyat, Antonio Giovinazzi and Verstappen. They've taken a grid penalty. Stroll, Weber, Romain Grosjean and Valtteri Bottas. Ricciardo and Kimi Raikkonen finishes off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
Guys, if you're new to the Turbo Fox Racers family, please hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding the bell to never miss a future episode. Guys, starting in P8 thanks to 2 penalties, it's still gonna be an uphill battle. This is for the championship. Anything and everything can happen at Brazil. You guys know that from real life and from the game. So all that's left to do is to jam with me on Formation Lap and get the momentum going. Are you guys ready for the Brazilian Grand Prix from P8 on the grid? This is for the championship. It's 5 red lights and it's go, go, go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. That is Pierre Gasly and Charles Leclerc on the front row. Guys, remember, wet qualifying, meaning the tyre strategies have been thrown out the window. Some people are starting on hards, some people are starting on softs, some people are starting on mediums like myself. But at this stage, it is Pierre Gasly leading the way from Charles Leclerc, with the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton battling away with Sergio Perez. Oh, there's a car out in the background. There's a massive gap, and suddenly the car slowed down. And yes, this safety car has been deployed. A massive crash in the background, guys. Let's see if we can see what happened from our POV as we jump back to our start. We go and we get a very good launch, guys. I can see I'm good launching when it comes to an uphill section because I really get traction quickly and I can be competitive. Heading to the first corner, I go side by side with Lando Norris and Devin Butler. I get a massive shove from Devin. It sends you off the track. And no! The curb bounces the car! It unsettles the rear end! That's me that went round! Oh my goodness! We have been spun around at the race where we're fighting for the championship.
Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down, maintain positive delta, return the position immediately or we will be penalised. There is no overtaking during the safety car period.
Guys, we just got a penalty as well for no apparent reason. So heading into the pit lane where we're going to have to swap tires because we've broken our front wing as well. We will have to serve a 5-second penalty. Luckily, it's under safety car, so that is a little bit of a blessing in disguise. But guys, Lando Norris just shoved me out wide, left me to dry, and I was just too hasty on the power as I bounced my car over that curb, and there was nothing I could do about that. Thank goodness the safety car has been deployed. This is the POV from Giovinazzi, guys. Do you guys see everybody is going slowly? Luckily, he's onto the brakes. They don't run into the back of one another. And there you guys can see it's just absolute chaos. It's a little bit of a graveyard, actually. As far as I know, nobody DNF'd out of the race. But guys, that's a crazy start to the race where I want to seal the championship. And guys, just like our Russian F2 feature race, we have not completed the first lap on our set of tires. So I will have to fit again in this race. And there you guys can see I'm serving my 5-second penalty. That is the longest 5 seconds of your life. I strap on the hard tires. But guys, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to absolutely cremate these hard tires. I'm going to drive as hard as I can. And then I'm going to come into a stage where the softs can go to the end. I'm just going to go to the end. Guys, the thing is, I basically need points. And also...
one more stop today. 1 stop left in our strategy.
Thank you, Jeff. And as you guys saw with the track preview, Max Verstappen has got a penalty. So all I have to do to seal the championship is finish ahead of Max Verstappen inside the points. That means even if I get 10th place. But we have to finish ahead of Max Verstappen. So, oh, guys, oh, great goodness. Guys, I feel that was not my fault. Look, I could have been easier on the throttle coming over that very aggressive curve. But that was really, really just unsportsmanlike, maybe, from Lando Norris there in the Williams. I'm gutted about that. But guys, there's still a long race ahead of us. This is only the end of lap 3. We've still got about 33 laps to go, as it is going to be green flag racing pretty soon. There we go. Pierre Gasly stomps on the throttle of that Red Bull. He has got the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc right behind him, and behind him is the Racing Point of Sergio Perez. You guys obviously realize that the Racing Point are the fastest car this weekend. As we head through the Senna SS for the second time at racing speed here at Interlagos, you guys can see it is actually now Sergio Perez right behind the the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. As you guys see here, actually Sergio is on the softs and Charles is on the hards. So Charles is really going to have a very long and hard first stint. But in any case, guys, that is Ferrari's problem. Jumping back to my POV, guys, you guys can see I'm already hounding Kimi Raikkonen. I get the jump on him as we get back to green flag racing. I am right behind the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas and the Renault of Daniel Ricciardo. That is good, diving up in between of those two cars. I cut off Ricciardo's front nose. Guys, this is exactly the restart that I needed. The more aggressive I am, the better. I just need to watch out to not spin myself again or to make contact again, because breaking another front ring or anything like that will ruin my race. So you guys see I'm right behind the McLaren of Lance Stroll and the Racing Point of Lucas Weber, who also started this race with a penalty. So he has got a lot of fighting to do. As you guys see, I'm going for the dive on Lance Stroll. Very aggressive, very opportunistic. He leaves the door wide open, and I just said, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. As I go up the inside of Lucas Weber as well. I'm sure my ex-Formula 2 teammate will not be liking this, that myself on hard tires is giving him a run on his soft tires, but that is just because he is being held up by the rest of the guys. And guys, look at that, guys. The bottleneck of this group is Max Verstappen. And guys, I can confirm Max Verstappen had some sort of mechanical issue. So as you guys see, I'm right behind my teammate Roman Grosjean, who himself and Devin Butler is being held up by the Ferrari of Max Verstappen. Guys, that was music to my ears, but still we are not within the points. It doesn't help we finish ahead of Max, but outside the points. We get the massive overspeed on our teammate, as well as on Devin Butler. Heading into the first quarter, we jam onto the brakes, but we are a little bit late onto the brakes. Look at Weber! Weber makes a very opportunistic move and doesn't pass one, not two, not three, but 4 cars. That was a quadruple move from my ex-Formula 2 teammate. Clearly, Lucas Weber is here to fight with everything he's got. But guys, now I have to get past Max Verstappen. And guys, I can guarantee you, Max hates the fact that gold and black horse is in his rear mirrors, because he knows the move I can probably most likely make now can be the championship winning move, but we've still got a long race to go. And if I know Ferrari, that car will be fixed with the computers before we get to like lap 6. So we really still have to watch out for Max Verstappen. As you guys can see, that was Lewis Hamilton passing Charles Leclerc. Hamilton is on the softs, Leclerc is on the hards. Guys, sorry for speaking so quickly. I am so excited. There we go. I couldn't stay behind Max any longer. I go for a very unorthodox move at a very unorthodox spot on the track. But that is us ahead of Max Verstappen. But guys, I think that's only like P13 on the grid. So we still got a lot of work to do, as this is for the race lead battle. Sorry for jumping between the cars so much, guys. It is Sergio Perez going for the move on Pierre Gasly. He goes for a move around the outside. They are both on the soft tires, so they are on a similar strategy. Sergio Perez makes the move around the outside. That racing point is blisteringly quick. Come the end of this season, we've got 2 rounds to go, guys, this one included. It's Brazil and Abu Dhabi. Guys, I really want to use Abu Dhabi just to be a scoping out episodes to check the crowd of which team wants me the most. And guys, I think at this stage, with me showing up Max Verstappen, it might just be Ferrari. But that we'll have to see come the end of Abu Dhabi. So you guys see, this is now back to Lucas Weber as he is trying to make a move on the Alfa Romeo. I think this is Kimi, no, this is not Kimi Räikkönen, this is the Alfa Romeo of Antonio Giovinazzi, as Giovinazzi is going for a move on the Williams of Lando Norris. There is that bright yellow and blue helmet of Lando Norris. Guys, I'm not in a good mood when it comes to Lando Norris in this Grand Prix. I feel Lando did to me what Esteban Ocon did to Max Verstappen back in 2018 at the Brazilian Grand Prix, because I was really in a very good position come this race, but all's fair in love and war, and rubbing is racing, so I can't stay mad at Lando. But for this race itself, I'm going to be a little bit mad at Lando. So for all the Lando fans out there, I apologize, but you guys can even say yourselves, that was a little bit of a hard shove coming through the Senna S at the beginning of the race. But as you guys see here, Lucas Weber is on a charge. He wants to go to space. He passes both Toro Rossos and is now on the rear end of Charles Leclerc and Kevin Magnussen, who in his Renault is driving an absolutely brilliant race. He got himself up into Q3 and he is absolutely doing bits for the Renault team, with his teammate El Ricciardo battling for P17, P18 roundabout there. So really, K-Mag is doing wonders for that Renault team as Lucas Weber gets past the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Now we head back here to Lucas Weber, guys, coming to the end of the next lap, and now he is tucked up right underneath that bright yellow and black Renault. He is right on the gearbox coming through this very fast section, heading up the hill. Lucas Weber will open up DRS. He dives to the inside as K-Mag cuts off his front wing. That was a massive jolt there from K-Mag, a little bit aggressive there, but luckily no contact was made, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But just to prove K-Mag a point, here comes Lucas Weber. He tries to move around the outside of the Senna S's, but now he was going to have DRS. No, he does not have DRS. Oh wow, and here comes Charles Leclerc trying to get back at Lucas, but Charles just doesn't have the braking area thanks to those hard tires. As Lucas Weber gets around the outside, that's a beautiful move from Lucas Weber, who is now up, I think, into P5, guys. He is on a charge. As guys, we are heading to the P4 man. No, this is the P3 man. P4, P3. No, P4. Lewis Hamilton, who is now heading towards he is the first guy to bite the bullet and going to the pit stops. He slaps on a set of hard white-walled tires, as well as that is Lucas Weber diving into the pit lane, going on to exactly the same strategy, guys. So his aggressive strategy, part of the race is done. He is now going into consistency and conserve mode to get those hards to the end of the Grand Prix. The very next lap, it is K-Mag himself diving it into the pit lane, guys. Really solid drive from K-Mag. Guys, I'm already gonna tell you guys this. Obviously, I can't give myself driver of the day because I am the player. But driver of the day to me today will definitely be Kevin Magnussen thus far. But we'll check at the end of the race. I'm gonna name my own driver of the day for this Grand Prix. As you guys see, heading back to my POV finally, we are right tucked up sorry for that, butcher. We are tucked up right behind Lando Norris, heading into the first corner. That was a smooth move, and that is just rubbing it in Lando Norris's face. That is how you make a move into the center, SS Lando. You do not bump somebody off of the track. Jeez, man, jeez. Actually, I'm gonna name someone in this video. Semi Demi, I'm sorry for hating on your guy, but he really made me cross this race. So trust me, I will love him again the next Grand Prix when we head to Abu Dhabi. As you guys see, this is the Red Bull. Ooh, Red Bull made wonders there for Pierre Gasly as him and Sergio Perez pitted from the lead of the Grand Prix. They strapped on the medium tires to run to the end of the Grand Prix, but Red Bull did bits for Pierre Gasly there as they pitted him quicker than Racing Point could pit Sergio Perez, and that is Pierre Gasly back into the net P1. But as they re-emerge from the pit lane, guys, they are behind Charles Leclerc on his hard tires, but they will basically be able to chase Charles down come the end of the lap because fresh mediums around here at Interlagos, guys, the mediums are the tire to be on. The mediums are an absolutely brilliant tire. I didn't have any mediums left when I came into the pit lane after the lap 1 incident. Otherwise, I would have gone onto a second set of mediums and then onto softs. But unfortunately, I had no mediums left. The only mediums I had left is the mediums that I started the race on. So it was really, really nip and tuck for me to get to that realization. It was really hard to bite that bullet, but guys, we are still having a solid performance at this stage. As you guys see, Pierre Gasly going around Charles Leclerc just to get another position on. It's not for P1, guys. I think this is around about P4, P5 they are battling for now because some guys still have to come into the pit lane. You guys saw a few seconds ago, it was Sebastian Vettel come diving it into the pit lane out of the lead of the Grand Prix, which he inherited from Gasly and Perez as they came into the pit lane. But also Vettel is going to the end of the Grand Prix. I think also on mediums, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't actually pay attention there. But actually, guys, this is Lucas Weber just the very next lap. He opens up the rear flap of that very, very OP Racing Point, I will call it at this stage of the season. Round the outside, he will have the grip on Mr. Charles Leclerc. And he is around Charles, and that is Sergio Perez. I think, guys, this was now for P1 and P2, so that is Perez back up into P2. Now, once again, chasing after Pierre Gasly. It is the Frenchman versus the Mexican, and the war has begun. So, guys, we jump back to Charles Leclerc. He finally dives into the pit lane to strap on a set of soft tires. And, guys, as soon as I saw this, I did exactly the same thing. I have also dove it into the pit lane to strap on a set of soft tires, running to the end of this race. And, guys, now, you thought I was aggro on the hard tires. Hashtag aggro times 20. Let's get ourselves going. And, guys, let's see how good we drove on those hards as we come out of the pit lane.
Complete. See these tires through to the end now.
Thank you very much, Jeff. That's a winky face from myself inside the helmet. Guys, we come out behind Kevin Magnussen in the Renault. Guys, we've gotten ourselves up into the points. Okay, wow. And, guys, where's Max Verstappen? Max Verstappen, guys, he's only crossing the start-finish line now, heading into the Senna S's now. Guys, we've got a massive gap on Max Verstappen. All we have to do now is seal P8, but how do you guys know me? We caught K-Mag come the end of that lap because he is on the hard tires. We are on fresh, super soft tires, and that is an easy move heading into the Senna S's. We get the move done even before we get to the braking zone, so that's a beautiful move from ourselves on K-Mag, as this is actually Sergio Perez, I almost said Lucas Weber, going for a move on Pierre Gasly. Guys, they have bolted away from the rest of the field. This is a Red Bull v Racing Point fight to take the win here at Brazil. I do not know who it's going to be sweeter for. I think it will be sweeter for Pierre Gasly because Sergio Perez has been on an incredible run this year, but that is a battle to keep your eyes on. As, guys, this is Charles Leclerc making a move now for P4 in the Grand Prix. He has driven... Guys, I think he has thrown away a win today going on to the hards for the beginning of the race. But where you win some, you lose some, and some strategy calls are risky, and sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. Guys, coming to the end of lap 29, the start of lap 30, we have caught up to the rear end of Lucas Weber. We open up DRS, we come up the hill, and as...
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the race.
As we make the move, we also set the fastest lap. And that is us up into P6 of the Brazilian Grand Prix after an absolutely atrocious start. Guys, If I could, I would, but I can't give myself driver of the day. Guys, started P8, had a massive incident on the first lap, got demoted to P1, was it 18, had to pit, demoted to P20, and I've been fighting back ever since on the hard compound of tires. We're onto the softs now, but my major fight back was on the hard, so that is absolutely beautiful. As you guys see, Pierre Gasly and Sergio Perez are still fighting like never before. Gasly is around the outside. Sergio actually gives him a squeeze, heading into this next double right-hander. Gasly's got the inside, Perez has got the outside. It's a very close nip and tuck move there, but I think Gasly will have the inside for this and he will get the move done. Yes, he did. And heading to the end of that lap, guys. Now Sergio said, this is not going to fly for me, boy. Not going to fly. And there goes Sergio Perez back into the lead of this Grand Prix. Guys, they are actually constantly swapping. Perez, then Gasly. Perez, then Gasly. Perez, then Gasly. This is absolutely awesome. You guys are in for a treat today come the end of this Grand Prix, because once again now Perez is under pressure from Gasly. Both these cars are strong in the straight line. The Racing Point is stronger in a straight line, but guys, I believe that the Red Bull is quicker in the corners. That is why Gasly is hanging on to Perez so good. Heading into the center S, guys. Gasly will have the inside for the third and final part of the S. He's through. Will he have DRS now coming through this part? Yes, he does have DRS. But will Sergio Perez even try something, because Slipstream is OP here at Interlagos? He decides against it and he will wait till the end of the lap. So guys, this is really heating up. Rewinding a little bit back, guys, you guys can see I have caught up to the back of Lewis Hamilton. Guys, you guys know I respect Lewis Hamilton, but I don't like the man. So guys, the man who dominated the beginning part of the season, just to rub a little bit of salt into the wound, to make this move on Lewis Hamilton at the race where I'm fighting for the championship, was amazing. Because Lewis dominated the first part of the season. If you guys can remember, I made a video where I actually asked in the name of the video, is Hamilton undefeatable, or is Hamilton, I don't know, he was some sort of immovable object from the lead of the Grand Prix. So from winning Grand Prix, it was just Hamilton was dominating, and as soon as myself, Red Bull, Ferrari and Racing Point started upgrading, Mercedes fell on their face, and they fell hard. So that was brilliant. But guys, we are jumping back to the leading battle between Pierre Gasly and Sergio Perez. They are fighting hammer and tong. They are both throwing not even the kitchen sink, they are throwing the entire kitchen at it. They are absolutely pushing like two stabbed rats, as the great Arava would say. Heading towards this next spot, guy. Gasly already goes defensive. He hugs the inside. Perez, once again, he has a little look there, but he decides against it. Guys, I think this is heading to the end of what is the lap? What is the lap? This is the end of lap 35, guys. This is the start of the final lap of the Brazilian Grand Prix. I just made my screen bigger, guys. So this is absolutely awesome. Guys, okay, the final lap of the race. The pressure is on. I do not know where Max Verstappen is, guys, but I am ahead of him. So at this stage, as far as I knew, I would win the championship. But it is Gasly v Perez, Leclerc v Vettel for the final podium position, and then it's myself driving a solid race, trying to finish in P5. Oh boy, guys, here we look at Charles Leclerc. He's trying to go for a move on Vettel. Like I said, this is the final lap of the Brazilian Grand Prix. A crazy race to say the least about it. But Charles just can't get his Ferrari ahead of that Red Bull. He is on the softer and fresher tyre. Here you guys can see it's myself in P5. There we go. The car in front of me, it's George Russell in the Williams, but he is a lapped car. He has got blue flags to let me pass. Guys, through this final part of the track, we are all heading into the final sector now. And this is Sergio Perez v Pierre Gasly. But guys, I think Perez saved up his CRS at his field, because look at the gap coming out of the final corner. Perez is just way too far ahead. Gasly is not going to be able to do anything. So guys, that is it. Sergio Perez is going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix with a fantastic fight between himself and Pierre Gasly. Checo deserves that. It could have gone either way. But guys, who's going to come home in P3? Go to P3. Here's Vettel looking behind. There's Charles Leclerc. He's much closer than Gasly was to Perez. Look at the straight line speed of the Ferrari. Charles Leclerc steals it on the line. Oh my goodness. And guys, this is us. Guys, P5 haven't won the championship.
Wonderful drive. You're now the Drivers' World Champion. The team want to say thanks for a brilliant job this season.
Yes!
Draws to a close, and the new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. A victory for Racing Point. The team will certainly be celebrating tonight. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
Time to celebrate, guys! Let's go!
Let's see how the driver standings have changed. This also means that there's no catching our leader anymore, and we crown a new World Drivers' Champion. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I think it's got to be Lucas Weber. Time and time again, he proves that he's someone who can quietly get the job done, and that's exactly what he's done today.
Let's move on to the constructors. So then, Ferrari have now moved out of sight and out of reach. It's another triumph for the Italian team as they claim the World Constructors' Championship. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
It was more like Dodgems than Formula One today, wasn't it? You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? That was a good race for Lucas. Are you pleased to see him doing well? Appreciate your time.
Woo! Guys, we have dethroned Sebastian Vettel. We have stolen it from underneath Max Verstappen's nose. We are the Formula One Drivers' World Champions. Congratulations to Ferrari for sealing the constructors. They were the consistency team throughout the season. They deserve that. But guys, we are still in a battle with Red Bull and Racing Point for third place in the Constructors' Championship. Oh guys, look at that. It's beautiful. Wait, nothing? Emma, Jeff, we just won the Drivers' Championship and you guys are saying nothing. Oh my great goodness. Oh my great goodness. I can't believe you. I can't believe you. But guys, that has been this episode. I'm going to love saying this. I'm going to keep saying it. We are the Drivers' World Champions. And guys, if I can get something going, I'm going to try to put the number 1 on my car for the final race in Abu Dhabi. But guys, the next race we will say goodbye to Haas. And you guys, tell me where you want me to go. Tell me in the comments down below which team you want me to go for. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please, I hope I've earned your like on this video. If you're new to the family, please hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding the bell. And please, guys, if you have enjoyed this episode as much as I have, I'm almost guaranteed you have, please share this video on your social medias. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, FaceTime, I don't care. Just share it. Just share it. I'll see y'all next time for Abu Dhabi. Cheers!